All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this year's Teacher Appreciation Night. My name is Bailey Passmore, and I'm the president of the Cuesta College chapter of Alpha Gamma Sigma. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to share with you a little bit about what Alpha Gamma Sigma and the purpose of our event tonight. Alpha Gamma Sigma is the academic honor society and service organization of the California Community Colleges. AGS members maintain a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher and perform at least 20 hours of volunteer service per semester to their college and to their local community. I would now like to introduce to you the other members of our executive cabinet in the order in which they'll be speaking. Publicity Director Kendra Gillis. Treasurer Robert Kramer. Secretary Sean Cuser. Historian Paul Whipp. Vice President of the North County Campus, Lindsay Bachman. And our ICC representative, Wei Shu, was not able to be with us tonight. That's good. All right. Teacher Appreciation Night has been a part of Cuesta College now for 7 years. It was proposed and brought to life by a previous executive cabinet and has since become an annual tradition for our chapter. Each year, we send out a request to our members, your students, asking them to nominate someone who has gone above and beyond to influence their success here at Cuesta. Last year, it was brought up that a student's success is not wholly defined by their instructor and what goes on in the classroom. A student can also be influenced significantly by every staff and faculty member they interact with here at Cuesta. As a direct result of this discussion, tonight we honor 6 instructional faculty, 1 academic counselor, 2 student success specialists, and 1 DSPS program assistant. These honorees were selected by the executive cabinet after rigorous vetting of 21 nominations. We're very excited to share the students' experiences with you tonight. Unfortunately, Dr. Stork could not be with us this evening. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our honored guest, Cuesta College Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Deborah Wolf.
Good evening, and I want to welcome everyone to this exciting event of recognizing outstanding educators. I'm really disappointed for myself and for all of you that Dr. Stork is not attending. He had a recent surgery this week, and he's recovering, but he'll be back with us right away. And I know that he really values this event and values these outstanding students and highly values the outstanding teachers that are recognized. So thank you. Being an educator comes in all forms, you know, and the value of teaching what happens in that classroom. But it can happen, and what's great this year is happening outside the classroom. And what effect that all of you who are recognized have on these students here is pretty phenomenal. And you should be very proud of yourselves, because we can teach forever and ever, or do our job and work with students forever, ever, and never be told, wow, you made a change in my life, or you had an effect on my life. But just one student giving you that recognition gives you that, engagement and that thrill of going on, because some days are tough, no matter what, working in education. Some days they're tougher than others. But anyway, I really want to recognize these outstanding students and thank you for taking the time and energy to recognize our outstanding faculty and staff. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Dr. Wolf. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Publicity Director, Kendra Gillis, who will present the first honoree.
Thank you, Bailey. I would like to ask Dr. Serena Cesar to join me on the stage. Dr. Cesar teaches in the Cuesta College Student Success Center. She has taught at Cuesta College for 1 year. There are many faculty members who are here tonight to be recognized for going above and beyond normal expectations. Dr. Cesar is one of them. An AGS member wrote that Dr. Cesar put so much time in helping all of the students in the Success Center. She ensures that anyone who needs that help gets that help. It was noted by one of our other members that she has went out of her way to review over students' essays when no writing tutors were available. Dr. Cesar is enthusiastic and provides a great amount of positive energy in the North County campus. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, AGS members wrote, "She has encouraged me to do my best when I have felt like giving up, and she knows exactly what to say to encourage students to do more than they think." Please join me in congratulating Dr. Cesar on her instructional excellence.
Well, thank you. I would like to just acknowledge these amazing students that are behind me. I wish you were in front of me, but I would like to say thank you to you as well, and to the students that aren't here. I have a wonderful job because I get to work directly with students, and right now it's a little bit uncomfortable for me because I'm used to giving the acknowledgements to the students and putting them up, not receiving the acknowledgement. So every day I get to go and say, hey, you know, what's going on, and be there for them and make North County campus, the Student Success Center there, a safe place for them to study and to build a community. I haven't been here so long. I've only been part of the Cuesta family for almost a year. But I will say that this year should count for about 10. It's been a little bit intense, but it's been a good year. And one of the neat things is that in being here, I've gotten to see my high school counselor from 4 years ago? No more than 4 years ago. And, and I also get to see people that I went to 3rd grade with. I get to see people I went to graduate school with. I get to see all sorts of these interesting connections come back to life. And it's really beautiful. And then I also get to share how that's important to me and impacting me with the students, and encourage them to build community and say, hey, this community is important, and this is what's going to get you through college and through Cuesta and into your future. So thank you very much for supporting me so that I can also support them and just get people where they want to go faster. I also have to say thank you to my husband because he's just the best. Thank you, guys.
Thank you and congratulations once again, Dr. Cesar. I'd now like to welcome Bailey back to the stage.
Thanks. Thank you, Kendra. I would like to ask Professor of Mathematics, Denise Chilton, to join me on the stage. Nice to meet you. Professor Chellsen teaches in the Cuesta College Math Department. She has taught here at Cuesta for 25 years. Before this evening, I had not met Professor Chellsen, but as a tutor in the math lab, I was very familiar with her name. You can recognize Professor Chellsen's students by their excitement about understanding their homework and their drive to keep working until they do. These aren't light subjects either. I can personally attest to how difficult it is to make Calculus 2 exciting and interesting for long periods of time. Her students work hard to stay on top of their material because they know that they have her in their corner rooting for them. The student who nominated Professor Chilton asked to remain anonymous, but shared a story with us that I can personally relate to. The student shared the moment when she realized they may have a learning disability and the compassion and dedication Professor Chilton showed the student. The student had fallen behind in the coursework but needed the class to continue with her major. In her own words, Professor Chilton could have just let me fail and say it was on me. Instead, she spent her office hours and then some helping the student process the material, followed up with her to make sure she was keeping up, and persistently encouraged her to get the accommodations she needed to reach her own potential. It's difficult to acknowledge when you're struggling, especially in major-related coursework, and recognizing the signs of a learning disability can feel like making excuses. Professor Chellsen deeply influenced this particular student and taught her that it's okay to have a learning disability, but it's not okay to do nothing about it. Oftentimes, it can feel like there's a huge divide between experiencing a problem and succeeding in spite of it. Every once in a while, you get to meet someone who helps you cross that bridge and who influences your life in a tremendous way. Professor Chellsen saw in her student an ability and a desire to succeed and understand, pushed her to fight for her own success, and supported her the whole way there. Please join me in congratulating Professor Chellsen on her instructional excellence.
Wow, thank you. And thank you to the Alpha Gamma Sigma members. It's really incredibly thoughtful to recognize faculty and staff who've meant a lot. All I can say is that the very best part of my job is really all the great people who come through my classroom, and watching their personal growth is just absolutely the most rewarding thing you could ask for. And I would like to encourage, as the board, that you encourage your Alpha Gamma Sigma members to stay in touch with Cuesta. One of the absolute joys for me is hearing from students in their next chapter of life. This fall, or just recently, last month, I heard from a student who also struggled in calculus and had a little rough journey of trying to figure it out, the difficult classes. And she wrote me back, this is after a period of years that I haven't talked to her, and she just wrote me back and said that she now has a master's in mechanical engineering, is now working for Stryker, creating and developing robotic arms for surgery. And she actually has a huge mural with her at her university, and she wrote back about how impactful Cuesta was. And the coolest thing about that is that I was able to share her story with the calculus students. So when you come back and share, when you share what you do, we can pay it forward and share it. And then students said, wow, what a cool story. Students who had just failed an exam were like, you know what? She failed a calculus exam, and look what she's doing now. And so please, please share your stories and pass that along to your membership, because we want to hear where you're at and use you as the role model for our students. So thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chellsen, and once again, congratulations. Our treasurer, Robert Kramer, will present the next honoree.
Thank you, Bailey. I would like to ask Ms. Susan Gossard to join me on the stage. Ms. Gossard instructs in the Cuesta College Counseling Transfer Career Services Department. She has worked at Cuesta College for 17 years. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond the normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, Susan has gone above and beyond for me. She has researched hard to find information on out-of-state universities. She has sought out and passed along resources that she thinks might be useful for me, even if we haven't met in months. She asked me great questions that ultimately helped me guide myself in my academic career, and she continuously encourages me to stay in my program, while other academic counselors have not. In response to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, Susan is an exceptional academic counselor and person. She is the only employee at Cuesta who makes me and my concerns feel truly heard. I believe, and she has told me, that she is invested in my success as a student and a person. Feeling supported can be perhaps the most influential aspect of a student's life. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Gossard on her instructional excellence.
you. It's so amazingly humbling and gratifying to hear that in some way you might have influenced someone getting closer to their hopes, their dreams, their goals. And as a counselor, I get to hear those aspirations and be a part of that every day. I returned to college in my 30s to go back to graduate school, went to, as a reentry student to get my master's degree with the goal of becoming a community college counselor. And it has been such a rewarding and gratifying time, and to be part of great success stories and in a little bit way maybe be able to help or get students feeling that they can achieve those goals and dreams is an amazingly rewarding and satisfying job. So thank you so much.
Please join me in congratulating Ms. Gossard on her instructional excellence. All right, and please join me in welcoming AGS Secretary Sean Cesar to the podium.
Thank you, Robert. Our next honoree is Professor Ann Maliszewski, who unfortunately is unable to attend tonight. I would like to invite her representative, the chair of the biology division, Ron Rupert, to join me on stage. Professor Maliszewski teaches in the Cuesta College biology department. She has taught at Cuesta College for 15 years. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, Dr. Maliszewski is always passionate about her students learning the material and always makes learning fun. I look forward to her class and am usually bummed when it's over. She goes above and beyond to help her students succeed. She holds extra office hours on campus and works on the weekends to make sure her students understand the material. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, Dr. Maliszewski's passion for physiology comes through her soul and into yours when you take her class. She encourages every student to be better than they were the day before and is always willing to stay late to help, even if it means she doesn't eat lunch. She pushes us to do our best and become better humans in general. She's just amazing.
So Ann sends her regards and salutations. And so where is Ann? She's in the class. So you can't nominate somebody for the an excellent teaching award and expect them to ditch their own class, right? So she sent me in her stead. I said, what would you like to say? And she said she's honored and humbled and was surprised. So she says, thank you all, and thank you.
I would now like to ask Professor Katherine Neidhart to please join me on stage. Professor Neidhart teaches in the Cuesta College Psychology Department. She has taught at Cuesta College for 15 years. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, Professor Neidhart connects with her students through a mixture of humor and knowledge grounded in real-world experience. She manages to make every class exciting, regardless of the subject matter, and knows how to keep a room full of students completely engaged. Her teaching style is equal parts fun and informative, and I think that makes her uniquely qualified to receive this nomination. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, Professor Neidhart has inspired me to see that psychological research can be both fun and exciting, all the while allowing us to learn what can be used to better society. Her grading style has also helped me to become a better writer who pays much closer attention to detail, and I am thankful for all the helpful feedback from her.
First of all, I was looking at everybody come up here, and I kept thinking, oh, how nice it's going to be that my daughter is going to come up with me. I didn't have to stand by my, thanks a lot, Eddie.
I feel really lucky that I had a student that would be kind enough, as Deb said, you can teach for a long time and not be recognized. And this is the first time I have been recognized, and it feels really amazing. I was very excited to see the letter waiting for me on my desk. I also feel really lucky to have a profession that fills my well every day. It's really wonderful to feel like you can empower people, especially in psychology, to be a little kinder to themselves, to be a little kinder to others, and to maybe have better relationships and lives. So thank you all, I'm honored. And I love you, Addie.
Please join me once again in congratulating Professor Katherine Neidhart on her instructional excellence. I would now like to welcome AGS President Bailey Passmore back on stage to introduce the next honoree.
Thank you, Sean. I would like to ask Mrs. Jennifer Noriega to join me on the stage. I'm not going to start until you're on the stage. Jennifer Noriega has been with the Cuesta College Student Success Center for years. In the spring of last year, I began my career in a tutoring center as a math tutor, tutoring only statistics. Without any formal tutoring experience, my confidence was really low. Despite having done well in notoriously confusing classes with a notoriously difficult professor, one question I couldn't answer was enough to make me doubt whether I really know what I was talking about. I was surrounded by veteran tutors, all of whom could tutor Calculus 1, 2, 3, and some even linear algebra, the highest math we offer here at Cuesta. Needless to say, I was very intimidated. I didn't know if I was right for what I was doing, and I started to doubt even my choice of major. Anytime I got too down on myself, I knew that I could wander over to Jen's desk for a minute, and she'd light up with stories and jokes about her own experience in math, how she doesn't know how we can do what we can do, and how much she understands. She'd remind us tutors we didn't have to be a genius in every topic of every subject, despite the pressure we sometimes get to be that. Her position in the Student Success Center has undergone many adjustments, but her support of us student tutors has always stayed solid. She has done her best to keep our working conditions consistent through many changes to who our supervisor was and what the center could offer, and in turn, we were able to provide support to hundreds of students each week. Her dedication to the Student Success Center has influenced every student that walks in, and she is responsible for the encouraging atmosphere of the center, and in particular, the math lab. Jennifer Noriega has helped myself and many others to be better tutors, better students, and let us just be people when we needed to be. Please join me in congratulating Jennifer Noriega on her outstanding work as a Student Success Center technician.
I'll say thank you first. Bailey came and teased me today about presenting me today. I do not like speaking in front of a lot of people. This is scary to me, but I have a lot of life experience. I had twins at 16. They're now off in college. I have a little one who's 8. And I bring my life experience to people to relate to them, to let them know that they're human, that they'll get through it, that, gosh, I don't know. I constantly joke around and say I'm kind of like the bartender. Everyone just kind of comes and talks to me, and they sit down and they have a moment. Sometimes they shed tears, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I just, have to crack a joke and lighten up the day, and it speaks volumes to certain people to be able to just come in and sit down and be like, I'm having a really crappy day. I'm like, great, it's all right. You'll get through it, So thanks, guys, everyone, AGS, for nominating me, and the students who love me being around. So I love being in there. I love being around everybody. Thank you. I don't know what else to say.
Thank you, Jen, and once again, congratulations. Our treasurer, Robert Kramer, will present the next honoree.
Thank you, Bailey. I would like to ask Ms. Judy Rittmiller to please join me on the stage. Ms. Rittmiller works as a division assistant in the Cuesta College DSPS department. She has worked at Cuesta College for 22 years. In answer to the question, what has this employee done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, on a daily basis, Judy Rittmiller shows support, compassion, and dedication to DSPS students at the North County campus. When I first enrolled at Cuesta College in the fall of 2014, Judy was the first faculty member that made me feel safe at school. I was extremely terrified to attend Cuesta College because of my health condition, but Judy helped me navigate my first semester at Cuesta. During the first weeks of the semester, she helped me connect with other DSPS students. This was very beneficial for me because she helped me establish friendships that have made my experience at Cuesta very rewarding. In answer to the question, in what way has this employee influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, Judy Rittmiller has shaped my success at Cuesta College. For starters, Judy has shared with me tips and techniques to help me be successful in school. She has taught me how important it is for students to use all of their resources available. For example, she introduced me to math tutors at the Student Success Center. She knew that I had been struggling with my math courses, so she encouraged me to ask for help. With the help of Judy and the tutors at the math lab, I finished my math course with very high grades. Furthermore, Judy has helped me to be successful in school by providing me with much needed accommodations. As a DSPS student, I'm able to have additional time during my exams. On more than one occasion, Judy has had no problem staying late so that I can finish my tests. All in all, Judy is a phenomenal human being and day by day helps students reach their goals. Please join me in congratulating Judy Rittmiller on her service excellence.
Well, I can just say thank you. I'm not much of a speaker. I'm kind of the behind-the-scenes kind of person. But I will say that the 22 years that I've been here at Cuesta, it's been probably the most enlightening and positive thing that I've had in my life. And to be able to help the students be successful is what I get up for every single day. So, thank you.
Please welcome AGS historian Paul Whipp to the stage.
Thank you, Robert. I would like to ask Dr. Ignatios Vacalas to join me on the stage. Dr. Vacalas works in the Cuesta College Business Education Division, which includes the Computer Information Systems courses. And while this is his first semester teaching here at Cuesta, he has been an instructor and director of the Computer Science Division at Cal Poly for 11 years. As a student in his discrete structures class, I have personally been influenced by Professor Vakalis, by his welcoming and lighthearted instruction. He loves to tell jokes, especially ones only math people understand. And he's genuinely passionate about his field. He shares with us as much wisdom as he can, answering our questions about math majors versus computer science versus software engineering. He wants each of us to succeed and checks in with anyone who falls behind to make sure they're keeping up with the material. He understands if you had a busy week and will take time to recover something you didn't understand or missed in the homework. I have never felt more comfortable asking a question than in Dr. Vacalas' class. The nominating student and myself agree that Dr. Vacalas has been a positive influence to our academic success because we have a place we can go to learn as much as we laugh. Please join me in congratulating Professor Ignatios Vacalas for his academic excellence. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, thanks so very much to everybody, and especially the students for nominating me. Being my first semester here, probably allow me to say a few things about me and my environment in my classroom. After being here in the US for 30 years, I still speak with an accent. Can you guess what accent it is? Greek. Indeed, Greek. And when I teach discrete math to the computer science majors, I'm sure many things at the very beginning sounds Greek to them. And I tell them, well, your instructor is Greek, and I can decipher, but you students should also learn how to pronounce the Greek words the correct way. And let me point out something about their organization. I hope they know how to pronounce areti, gnosis, and sophrosini. And that's the 3 letters for the AG, alpha, gamma, sigma. So I love teaching and I love administrative work, perhaps an antithesis, but both aspects are about the empowerment of people. Teaching is about the empowering of young individuals, students to see and understand what appears to be incredibly complicated at the very beginning, and how to truly believe they can achieve everything they want with very hard work. Actually, there is no math phobia. It's a myth. Too many Greek words if you've paid attention. Administration is about empowering people to achieve more and more and climb the ladder of their respective success. It's about creating trust among your team to envision, develop, implement, and assess the impossible in an ocean of bureaucracy. I have served for 11 years as the chair of the great computer science department at Cal Poly, which is now the biggest department in the College of Engineering. So this is my first semester at Cuesta, and in my lectures, I try to show students the beauty of math. I'm trying to make them understand that math is all about creativity, especially in doing proofs, and about the construction of precise and logical sequence of English statements sprinkled with some formulas. It is sometimes very difficult for them to understand that. I'm trying to teach them how the knowledge of discrete math will help them to become true computer scientists, not just programmers, and that only with the power of mathematics one can see and understand the limitations of computing. I urge them also to go see wonderful movies like The Imitation Game, A Beautiful Mind, Good Will Hunting, so they can see the interplay of emotion, creativity, and ingenuity. So I want to thank each one of you, and especially my great students, and it's a privilege and honor for me to teach at Cuesta. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vacalis. And once again, congratulations. Our North County Vice President, Lindsay Bachman, will present the next honoree.
Thanks, Paul. I'd like to invite Professor John Viras to join me on stage. Professor Viras teaches at Cuesta College, or in the Cuesta College Biological Science Department. He has taught at Cuesta College for 18 years. His nomination has been requested to remain anonymous. In answer to the question, what has this faculty member done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, John has gone above and beyond his duties as an instructor by being there to constantly assist myself and others in their pursuit of education. He is willing to work after hours and match your commitment to learn. He has always been a willing volunteer when I have asked him for letters of recommendation. Many teachers said they would write letters, but he has been the only one that followed through with minimal prodding, only asking, where do you want me to send it? Then happily doing so. He has been a great mentor, showing me a side of biology I was only slightly interested in, sparking a newfound love for what many may consider mundane, and showing me there is more that goes on in front of us, whether we realize it or not. In an answer to the question, in what way has this faculty member influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, I had dropped out of Cuesta for a short period of time as I had no idea what I was doing with my life. After this period, I enrolled in 2 classes solely because they looked interesting, and they both happened to be his classes. This reignited my thirst to learn, and I eventually ended up taking all of his classes he taught. I am now a biology major and can easily say he has had a hand in inspiring me to succeed. Please join me in congratulating Professor John Veras on his instructional excellence.
I want to thank the Alpha Gamma Sigma and their wonderful students for sponsoring and putting together this event. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Young, who is in the audience here. Without all her support and love, I would not have been able to be the teacher I am today. I also want to express my deepest appreciation for the student who nominated me for this award. This award is especially meaningful for me because it comes from the students. And you know, being a teacher here at Cuesta, the most important thing for me is to help students learn and grow. And to know that I was successful in helping some students learn and grow is the best award I could ever imagine. So thank you so much for this award.
Congratulations again, John. And I'd like to invite Kendra Lagilis to introduce our next nominee.
Thank you, Lindsay. I would like to ask Dr. Michael Walker to join me on the stage. Dr. Walker teaches in the Cuesta College Performing Arts Division. He has taught at Cuesta College for 9 years. In answer to the question, what has this instructor done that is above and beyond normal expectations, an AGS member wrote, one of the biggest things that makes Dr. Walker stand out from the rest of my instructors is his constant positive attitude. I can't think of a time when he didn't try to lighten the class's mood with his many puns, or when I wasn't greeted with a smile from him. This was extremely encouraging, especially for being in Theory 4, a class that contains dense material that can be draining for students, especially at 8 o'clock on Monday mornings. In answer to the question, in what way has this instructor influenced your success as a student at Cuesta College, an AGS member wrote, Dr. Walker's attitude and the way he teaches his students instills the mentality that one can still grow no matter what the circumstances are. So I'm kind of going off book here, but I didn't have the easiest semester. My health can be very unpredictable. And with that being said, you know, I had to miss a lot of days in school. I was frustrated, stressed, and worried about the impact it had on my education. But Dr. Walker was always there, and he was patient, sensitive, empathetic, and that was really important to me during this time in my life. His kindness and compassion helped me learn that it was okay, that I was behind and that I needed extra time to learn the class material. His uplifting attitude and encouragement just pushes me forward to keep working hard and reminds me that, you know what, things happen in life, but you can still recover and make the most of your education. So thank you, Dr. Walker.
Wow, I feel really honored to be here and to be with all of you and to be with AGS. And thank you so much for those wonderful words, Kendra. They really mean so much to me. And that's the one joy about being a teacher. I mean, one of several. When I first chose my profession of being a musician, or I could maybe turn that the other way, when my profession chose me, like so many of us could say that I thought I'd be doing a lot of music and composing and writing. And then it came to pass that I became a teacher, and I found that that was as great of a love that I had for music. And every year I teach, I've been here for 9 years now, I have the joy to be with so many wonderful students, and especially our Theory 4 class. You guys are the warriors. You guys have been through all of the theory classes, and I feel very honored to be with the Theory 4 students, especially those students, because I get to have an influence on their next step in life. I get to prepare them for their placement examinations when they transfer to a four-year college, and they get to inspire me too. Being a teacher, I couldn't be a very effective teacher if I didn't have wonderful students who inspired me to be a great teacher. So Kendra, thank you again for those kind words, and thank you all. It's been a wonderful time being here tonight.
Thank you and congratulations once again, Dr. Walker. I'd now like to welcome Bailey back to the stage for some closing remarks.
I'd like to take a moment now and give a special thanks to a couple people who helped make tonight a success. Thank you, Dr. Wolf, for attending tonight's event and helping us honor these outstanding instructors and faculty. Richie Bermudez from the Advancement Office for his help with technology, photographs, and promotion of Teacher Appreciation Night. Thank you, Richie. Lauren Milburn for promoting this event. The Cuesta College Jazz Musicians, Fair and the Tangents for joining us tonight and providing great live music. I would also like to give a special thank you to my executive cabinet for working hard throughout their busy semester to help me plan this event. Thank you, guys. And to our advisor, Dr. Gilbert, for keeping us on track and helping us do our best. Finally, I would like to once again congratulate this year's honorees and thank you all for the hard work that you do so that we students can succeed. Congratulations, you guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. I'd like to ask all of the honorees to join me on the stage once again. Everyone else, please enjoy the food and music. Thank you.